What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your friendly neighborhood Michael Boose in the Casa de Boose. I just got back from a early screening of Predator Badlands, and here is my no spoiler review. I want to start out by prefacing that I loved the movie. I thought it was really, really great. I thought that the expansion of the Predator lore and the Predator characters was really well done and well crafted. They didn't overdo it. I was talking with a friend of mine who went with the movie with me, and we were talking about how sometimes like horror movies have a propensity to, when they get into the backstory or try and establish like what made the monster, it overdoes it and kind of ruins the mystique. And I thought they wrote a really good balance of creating an expanded lore and understanding of the Predator characters without like going too in deep in it and kind of ruining it with a whole bunch of, just exposition being thrown at you. Loved that. I thought the fight scenes and choreography were really, really excellent for a highly CGI-influenced action movie. There were a lot of like blending of practical and mocap effects that I thought came together really beautifully and created an excellent visual style. Overall, loved this movie. It was a really entertaining watch. I came out smiling, and I'm a huge Predator fan. Huge Predator fan. I mentioned this in my little review, but like I don't get to watch the movies with you guys on the channel because I've already watched them multiple times, and it'd just be me gushing about the movies over and over. Nobody wants to see that. Everybody wants to see Ashley and Kristen reacting to the jump scares. I totally understand. So that's why I haven't been able to be on the channel about it. So I'm really glad that I had this opportunity to go and see the early screening and get kind of a taster of it and, be able to talk about it and share my thoughts as well. Now, all that being said, loved the movie, thought it was great, had an excellent time, definitely worth seeing. The question that is on literally no one's minds but mine, because this is a really specific Booseism, is does this break the Predator curse? Now, I don't know why anybody would be familiar with this. I don't know if I've talked about it on the channel at all, but I've had this long-standing belief that the Predator franchise, just the standalone movies, we're not talking like AVP or anything like that, just the standalone Predator classics, suffer from one good movie, one bad movie curse. And this is true from the inception of the series, right? You've got Predator 1, great movie. Predator 2, terrible movie. Then we take a hiatus for a while. We do the AVP movies, yada, yada, yada. Then we come back with Predators with Adrian Brody, Topher Grace, phenomenal movie, right? Then we have 2016's The Predator, terrible movie. So at this point, a pattern is established. We have good movie, bad movie, good movie, bad movie. So when Prey came out, I had really high expectations. I was like, this is going to be a good one because that's what the pattern does. And it was. It was really good. Then, after that, Prey was good, and I've been worried for every Predator movie since then. Now, I will say, with this caveat, I have not seen Predator Killer of Killers, and I know Jabby really, really likes that movie. But I was worried that this one, being the kind of direct follow-up to Prey as far as a live-action Predator movie was going to go, wasn't going to land it, and we were going to have the curse. Now, I loved this movie, but I don't know if it breaks the curse for me. Because ultimately, at its core, I don't think Predator Badlands is a Predator movie. Now, it's a great movie. It's a really, really good movie. It's very well done. But I don't think it's a Predator movie because it does not follow the Predator archetype that has been set up by every other Predator movie, right? In those movies, the Predator is not the main character. And the main story is about the people, humans, overcoming the Predator and kind of showing our ability to outlast and overcome the odds. Now that core is still here in this, but it's not with the like sort of we're in the jungle, we're in the wilderness trying to, where is the Predator? If it bleeds, we can kill it. We haven't seen it. We're just getting picked off one by one. It doesn't have that trope. It doesn't have the sort of intense thriller action vibes that everybody knows the Predator movies have. This is definitely more in keeping with a Disney sort of action adventure hero has a change of heart movie. And I think that's my big thing with it, is as much as I enjoyed this movie, it has the House of Mouse's fingerprints all over it. From the story to the comedy that feels very much in keeping with like Marvel and kind of Guardians of the Galaxy and things like that, and the characterization of our main Predator character, all of that comes together to feel like a much more almost family-friendly version of this Predator IP than the original movies would have. So, this is the thing I kind of put to you. After you've seen it, I'd love to hear discourse in the comments. I know this is coming out a little bit before the movie comes to theaters, so it might be a little while before I get the answer to this question. But, like, does this count as a Predator movie, truly, because it doesn't fit the Predator archetype, but it has the name on it? Or is this something different? Because I understand why they did what they did. Ultimately, the stepping away from having the Predator be kind of the bad guy and the obstacle and the threat we have to overcome lends itself to being a different movie. Because ultimately, how many times can we do the same sort of Predator versus human story over and over? Prey did a really good job of setting it not in modern times and sending it back, and kind of this idea of the first time predators met humans. But you know, that's not necessarily something that can hold up over time if you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. I can totally respect that eventually we get tired of that story. So I think what they've done with this is created something really refreshing and new and excellent and engaging that's definitely worth seeing. But it doesn't have that feel of the Predator movie. I've said this like 4 times, so I'm basically beating a dead horse. But I think you come out of it going, that was really, really good. That was a phenomenal movie. But could we have done this with a different story that didn't involve like this known IP? But that, you know, I can't be mad because they're doing a franchise that I really, really love really well, and it's infusing new life into it. And I think this movie will, I hope, at least be a critical success. So maybe we get more Predator movies out of it. And then maybe the curse continues. Who knows if the ones after that are going to be good or bad? I don't know. But that's my very long-winded, I don't know if anybody cares, sort of examination of this movie. I think that overall, we've left the archetype behind. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I say that as a fan of the archetype who would probably watch that over and over. I'd be the last person in theaters for like Predator 14, where we watch basically the same thing over again. Just because I love those movies and I love the character and creation of the Predator. Now, my other thing with it is it feels like we're leaning a little bit more heavily into what I'm calling the 20th century Fox Alien universe, right? We have the Alien versus Predator movies, like that's the, I guess, crossover that everybody wanted between the Predators and the Xenomorphs. We have those movies, and so we have this established canon that they exist within the same world. So we are continuing down that established canon. Not any spoilers. They kind of nod to that in all of the trailers I've seen, so that's nothing out of the ordinary. But my worry is that we're going into it too deep. I love the Predator movies, and I also love the Alien movies, but I love them as standalones because they're two very different things in how they're done. The Alien movies are like horror thrillers that kind of examine humanity's lust for advancement at all costs, and the Predator movies are also an examination of human prowess, but it's an examination of like humans overcoming the odds and beating all obstacles. Both are done in very different ways because they're showing different facets of humanity. And I'm worried that as they expand this universe, we're going to muddy it by trying to make the universes come together and spending too much time in like the crossover and establishing the crossover and more Weyland-Yutani and maybe more Xenomorphs. And I don't know. I want this movie to be a success, and I want people to go out and see it because I love Predator and I want to see more excellent Predator content come out. I just don't want it to be at the expense of both franchises, that we're melding them together and kind of creating them into this hodgepodge mix where they all exist as the same thing. You know, I want these two separate flavors to continue being separate. I don't need Reese's peanut butter cups, two great flavors that taste great together. I need the separate, and I think that would be the service that I'd like to see. But we can continue having the coloring of the two universes kind of coming together because it is interesting, and I do like that flavor. I just don't want them to become one and the same, homogenous. So anyway, I've been rambling on. If you made it to this part of the video, great. Thank you so much for sticking around for my ramblings. Ultimately, short, final note, love the movie. Absolutely head out and see it. It's definitely worth your time, and it's a fun time. Go see it with your friends, take your family, your Predator-loving family, or family that's never seen a Predator film. I think both could get huge amounts of enjoyment out of it. So at the end of the day, great time. Definitely go see the film, and let me know down below or in the reaction that inevitably comes out on the channel to the movie when Ashley and Kristen get around to it. What do you think? Am I valid? Does it break the curse? Does it not? Is it a Predator movie? Would love to know. So thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy, and I'll see you on the next one.